Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the WiX Online Meeting 305. This meeting is being recorded. If you're not here with us right now, if you are, go ahead and say hi in the chat. We will probably have a short meeting. I know I say that. That usually ends up me jinxing it, but I have a high lot of confidence in this one. Anyway, if you're here, go ahead and say hi. This is being recorded. I think I've done my checklist. On to the things that we're going to do what we're talking about today. That will be the WiX 7 release schedule. It's gotten very short at this point. Then we'll do triage and WiX 7 review, and then we'll take your questions and comments. So, given the fact that we're almost at WiX 7, spoiler, I expect this will be short. Welcome, Zach. Welcome, Bert. Let's go ahead and look at the release schedule. So we moved back our first date on February 6th, but we held our March 6th or our March 5th date, and RTM is right around the corner on April 6th, which is a Monday instead of a Sunday. Otherwise, it would be April 5th. So maybe we really should have moved March 5th back to 6th, although it might have been a weekend then. Anyway, all good. Everything's doing well. We'll look at the issues here, but yeah, WiX 7 is right around the corner. April 6th, 2026. Like, less than a month away by definition. So let's go ahead and look at the issues that we have open, things that are going on for triage, and then we will take your questions and comments. Bob, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, off to triage. All right, we have two things that came up after or before RC2. I'm confused. After RC2? Anyway, they came up in the last week and 2 weeks ago. I guess I could look at the date when the issues are actually open. All right. And then a couple that just came in the last, 9 hours, 8 hours. All right. So let's just start at the top. 9253. This is an issue that I opened where we have a package version, a dependency in WiX that was causing problems inside Visual Studio, because Visual Studio has a set of assemblies it expects, and WiX had moved beyond that and was creating all kinds of crashing problems. One of our problems in getting it all working. So anyway, so that's fixed in RC2, and we're incorporating all that kind of good stuff into the Visual Studio Heatwave extension. Random note that I need to go run down, but I've seen something that says if you use implicit usings, so that feature inside Visual Studio that will automatically insert usings for you to reduce the number of using statements you have at the top of your C# files, and you target .NET Framework, the old style framework, those usings can automatically include assemblies that you might not otherwise need, which surprised me and actually may be the cause of this one. So I didn't run that down, but it's something I'm going to kind of look at in WiX 8 of implicit usings is causing our .NET Framework requirements to be bumped up. Anyway, just a public service announcement. If someone knows more about that, go ahead and drop in the comment. But I'm going to go run that down, and I'll let people know what I find in a few more meetings or something like that. Anyway, so that was 9253. It's fixed in RC2. Bob had hit 9257. Configurable scope bundles can get a partial detected state. You want to talk about that, Bob?
Yeah. So this, as we mentioned before we started recording, this came from me engaging with a FireGiant customer who's adopting configurable scope bundles. And luckily, because they've discovered at least this bug and possibly another, what happened here is there's a lot of code in Burn that assumes that it knows the scope of a bundle very early in the process, which was perfectly reasonable back when the scope was determined at build time. I thought I'd cut out all of those assumptions, but I missed one. In this case, the Burn, during detect, Burn thought that it could know where the bundle was cached, which leads also to where the bundle would try to load the state file from. So I made it basically, if a bundle is already installed, it will check for per machine bundles first, and if it doesn't find a per machine bundle, or sorry, not per machine bundle, but per machine uh, registration, then it would fall back to per user. That gets you out of the problem you have of trying to uh, know where to look based on the actual scope of the bundle. Once it's planned in the initial bundle, it's permanent. That scope can't change. So all good so far.
And that was fixed after RC2.
This was fixed after RC2. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be an RTM. So if you're using configurable scope bundles in RC2, know that this issue is out there, even though it's marked closed here, because it was fixed after RC2.
Yes.
All right. I think we can mark those as done with triage, and they will go off into, well, their appropriate milestones. All right. Next one. Do not mark make SFCA during, do not run it during design time builds, 9260. Someone has suggested that we could condition out the run of make SFXCA during a design time build. That may be true. I haven't thought about it. That could go up for grabs, and someone could work on it if they want to go experiment with it. See if that works better. I don't write a lot of managed code custom actions, so I haven't experienced this a lot myself. So, but it kind of makes sense. And then 9261 tests fail if Visual Studio 2022 is not installed. And it looks like we are, yeah, this code, when I looked at it, is not finding Visual Studio 2022 at this moment. So that could get fixed by someone that wants to make it run on a machine that doesn't have Visual Studio 2022. I still have it on my machines because we still test Heatwave on that old version of Visual Studio.
Old. This can't be fixed until the GitHub Actions runners are updated to Visual Studio 2026, which is actually scheduled for next month.
Oh, all right. Well, cool.
I'm sorry. No, it's scheduled for May.
Yeah. So I don't know, or make it run on both, whichever, as long as it finds one.
Well, we've traditionally used the latest version of Visual Studio to build.
Yeah, we haven't.
And targeted down level.
Yes.
When we have to.
We can't do that because right now we can't do that a lot because
right.
There's actually something commented in the build out that's waiting for 2026 to be turned on in GitHub.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that can go up for grabs. Someone wants to work on that one. Makes sense. Things that are easy to verify. Cool. So no real issues came in. So let's look at what's up for WiX 7. And the answer is nothing open.
Yay.
WiX 7 has the one thing that Bob mentioned about the configurable scope bundles just now. That is post RC2. And that's it. That's all we have. That's all we expect. Anything that shows up will be a surprise, but we'll tackle it. So if you haven't tried WiX 7 RC2, you should. If you want to use configurable scope bundles, then you might want to grab like a dev build, a recent dev build, to get this fix in it. But otherwise, you could try out all the other features inside WiX 7. And yeah, we're pretty much there. This is kind of the way it should be, getting to the end. Not a lot of excitement. So that's all that's going on there. Going back, as I hinted, I think this will be a short-ish meeting unless people have questions. WiX 7 releases in, I didn't measure, it is in 1.5 weeks, basically. 2 weeks and then the Monday. So just a few days. Very exciting. WiX 7 will come out. I don't know. I feel like they used to be more exciting, I think, when they were coming out because they felt farther away. Now this feels kind of like clockwork. It's like, yeah, this is what we do. And just, it's another year, another version of WiX comes out on April 5th, plus or minus the day to fit so that we're not working on weekends. Oh, although I do need to mention, I am going to be out the third week of April. So, by unanimous decree, or I just asked Bob and he picked, we'll meet on April
Works for
8th,
me.
the week before, so that we can like chat and see how week 7 seems to have gone and all that kind of good stuff. So, the meeting is April 8th, which is a week earlier than usual. That is not a typo. I do make those mistakes often, but this time it is correct. It'll be April 8th, which is a short, 3 weeks from now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks from now, right after we release WiX 7. Hopefully, we'll be popping champagne and cheering and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll do all the stuff that we do here. All right, I filled a bunch of space. Bob, I don't know if you have anything to discuss, cover, consider.
No, I'm just excited to get WiX 7 out. Yeah. Again, I am biased, but the configurable scope bundles are kind of cool. A bunch of other little changes and
Yeah,
um,
it's. I looked at it and looked at 6 and 5, and I'm like, yeah, we're getting like kind of a big thing and then a bunch of smaller
right.
things getting fixed. I think that icon fix is going to make a lot of people happy too, and with standard BA.
Yeah, yeah, true.
That was just like, yeah, okay, need to figure and hunt that one down. So yeah, that one's good too. Plus a bunch of other little things. Oh, the ability to exclude your items inside your Wix proj as well. That was fun.
When you say fun,
I mean, it's a good little thing. It turns out it was really straightforward, but that's because I've been doing the Deployment Dojo show, so I was like an expert in MS Build and fully refreshed on all of it. As soon as I saw it and sat there, I was like, oh, I covered this exact problem at a Deployment Dojo show not too long ago. So then I just had to sit down and make sure I put it all together correctly. But that was pleasantly nice, actually. So, all right. That's all I think we got this week. You guys are all quiet in chat, which is all good because, it's pretty quiet. It's pretty straightforward. Pick up your WiX 7 builds and make sure they're all happy and good. Your scenarios are all good because we're kind of out of time. Otherwise, and then you can wait until WiX 8 for the next fix. And that's it. All right, so we will have WiX 7 released before the next meeting, but we'll have the meeting shortly after that. It'll be very exciting, very fun, very cool, and we can all then talk about, I guess, I don't know if I'll be quite ready on April 8th to talk about WiX 8, but we probably should start thinking about what WiX 8 will have in it.
oh yeah,
Which sounds kind of cool. WiX 8, this whole yearly cadence thing. I understand why the .NET guys started this. This is kind of, it's addictive. You're like, yeah, now we're just going. So, all right. The regular schedule, things are working, and we'll be back in 3 weeks to make sure that we can talk about the release of WiX 7. Till then, you guys take it easy. Bye.
bye.